How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Tacoma Beast channel, where, as you know, it's all about the taco. In today's video, we're gonna be building Robert's truck. Robert is the winner of the Tacoma Beast Experience giveaway. Today I'm here with Nate. We're at CBI's headquarters, and we're gonna try to do it in hopefully 5 days.
That's the hope. Parts are gonna be flying. We can't wait to get this truck fully built with all these awesome parts. We're also gonna give a rundown of all the specs and features and pricing, so it'll be pretty sweet.
I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome. Now we just have to wait for Robert to get here and we can get started. Robert's here. You guys wanna go say hi?
He made it. Let's go say hi.
He made it.
Let's go meet the man.
Got a call from the lady. Hey, you won the Tacoma Beast Experience giveaway. I'm like, no way. Oh, I didn't enter no raffle. Yeah, you enter automatically by buying those headlights. I was like,
oh, is that what you bought?
Yeah,
were the headlights?
Oh, so you bought the headlights without even knowing that, like,
yeah,
that
no,
was
I
coming
didn't know anything like
That's
about it.
crazy.
Oh, that
and then
is
I just got the
awesome.
call. Well, you are the winner for the Tacoma Beast Experience. I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. She's like, yeah, you are the winner. We're gonna complete build your truck. I was like,
You're
no
like,
way!
You were like, that's a spam.
Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, you won. Are you excited? She was like, oh, calm. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm excited. What are you talking about?
As we were planning out his build, I told him, I was like, hey man, do you mind not doing it on the week of March 9? And because it's my birthday, right? So I really wanted to take at least that day off. And he goes, dude, are you serious? He goes, that's my birthday. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Your birthday's on my birthday?
We're twinning.
Yeah.
We're twinning on birthday too.
That is
That's
true.
right.
That is
Same
true.
birthday.
Matter of fact, let me show you guys for his birthday.
No,
Here go,
you
my
did
boy.
not. No, you did not.
Yeah, boy.
You're so crazy, dude.
Hey,
You're
that's
so
the least I can do for you, man.
Well, dude, let's get your truck inside the install bay and let's get working on it, man. I'm excited. We can take a couple shots too.
Right. Look at me, they're gonna think I'm an alcoholic. All these beers.
BF Goodritch came in clutch. They're sponsoring the winner. Originally, they were sponsoring him with some KO2s. And when it came time to coordinating the build, they reached out to me. They're like, dude, they're out of stock. Do you think the winner's gonna want KM3s? I was like, dude, absolutely, man. So they totally hooked him up.
I was actually thinking of trying to see if I can pay the extra money out of my pocket so I can get the KM3s, because I wanted some mud-terrain tires, because my truck already had KO2s and I wanted some more aggressive look on that truck.
All right, the truck is in the shop. We have a lot ahead of us. With us today is Kenny. He's gonna be helping us out with the build along with Steve. What do we have on the list?
Well, first of all, we got to get this truck ready to put bumpers on it. In order to do that, we got to cut all the body panels, remove a couple bumpers, the grill, get it all ready for the bumpers. And once we get that done, we'll go ahead and install the bumpers.
All right, so Kenny and Steve are done prepping the front of the truck. Now it's time to start cutting. What do you guys use as a reference point in order to mark it so that it has a nice, perfect line that matches the bumper?
Right, sure. All right, so here's what we do. First thing you do is you locate this bolt here, and we just come up about 1 inch from there. We make a mark, and from there, you're gonna wanna set your tape right at that mark. We come straight around to where the valance was and just follow that line. And there's your line that you want to cut to.
It's time to cut the front and back bumper. This is when it really gets exciting. This is where a lot of people get scared. But once you start cutting it in and you add that front bumper, high clearance rear bumper, it all makes sense. It looks incredible. Now that we got the front taken care of, Kenny, what are some of the reference points for the back?
Yeah, sure. So this can be a little bit nerve-wracking, but as long as you got the measurements right, we'll get you covered. So what you want to do is you want to come down. Best place to go from is just where the bed cap meets here. Come down 20.5 inches is where you're going to want to make your mark. So 20.5.
Okay.
That's going to be your first mark. Then we're going to come around here on the inside of the wheel well. you'll see this first bolt here. You're gonna wanna go from the center of that bolt and come up exactly 5 inches from that bolt head. And that's gonna be your second mark.
Nice, and then from there you just align
From there, you just line up those 2 lines, and that's gonna give you your template for the cut.
Morning of day 2, we just walked in and the CBI team was working on installing the CBI Overland Bed Rack. Now it's time for us to mount the wheels and tires. It's time to kick Robert out. He has seen enough, and it's essential for him to see the Tacoma completely built out, get that total surprise factor. Here are the keys to my truck. Go explore Idaho Falls. It's got a supercharger, so treat it.
All right, awesome.
Have fun.
Yeah, boy.
I'm just not a big fan of those chrome taillights or headlights. And with everything CBI being black, I really started to be like, man, we gotta get our headlights on the truck. And with the sequence that it has, he has to experience that. It's gotta be part of the build. So immediately I got my team and I was like, hey, let's ship out some headlights, let's ship out some taillights, let's make it happen. Let's make this truck look sweet. Justin just finished installing the taillights. Now we're gonna lift the truck up. We're gonna install the skid plates, and then from there, I will be installing the headlights. All right, so the skid plates have been installed. How is Robert gonna benefit from the skid plates?
Yeah, so skid plates are awesome. Robert's from California. He's gonna be bajaing across the desert and there's lots of rocks. The skid plates are gonna protect the belly of the beast, right? So you have a full aluminum skid plate, first off, super light. It's gonna take any hit from rocks, boulders, whatever it is that he encounters out in the desert. He still has the opportunity to change his oil filter here and his oil there with quick access points, which makes it way easy. And of course the skids go all the way to the back here.
Now let me ask you this, Nate. I've noticed you guys have a bunch of holes here. What are those for? Why not just make one solid skid?
Yeah, so through customer feedback, we got this awesome idea that we needed to create some drainage points in the skids. And here's why. Robert's out in the desert, it's a rainy season, he's got to cross a wash of water. A lot of times that water is thick, you know, with mud and stuff like that, and it'll come up over the skid and it'll create a suction down to the ground, which affects your traction and your ability to keep forward momentum and get out of the water. So this allows it to not only drain, create some airflow both ways, but it also, as you come out of the water, it's gonna release all the crud and dirt and mud on the top side, and then you're carrying less weight, right? We've pulled skids down where we had 100 pounds of dirt
I've done that.
Was that yours?
I've done that. No, I don't think it was mine, but I've done that, yeah.
Yeah, so it just helps all around. So we've incorporated those front to back. Robert's gonna love this. I mean, let's say he's cresting over a hill and just really bangs this hard. Maybe he's in Moab on the Red Rocks. We have incorporated a full crossbar. This piece right here is a separate piece, goes frame to frame, and it fully supports the rear of the skid plate so that that won't crush in. And by this point, you know, on this breakover, say he's in Moab on a rock ledge, he's gonna have most of the weight on the vehicle right at this point. So we don't want that to bend, we don't want it to flex, we don't want anything to damage his ability to get out of wherever he's at.
You heard that, Robert? You're gonna be fully protected. What about for the back?
So yeah, another key area is the gas tank skid plate. So the factory skid plate, I don't know if you saw this on your Tacoma, I saw it on mine, but one hit and that thing was mangled.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just really light duty. So this is gonna be huge for Robert as well. Again, as stuff's kicking off the front tires, you know, logs, there's some logs and stuff down in some of those washes in California, out on the desert. It's gonna protect this skid plate and provides armor front to back and a slide skid, right? So again, if he's in Moab or climbing over a rock ledge, this is gonna help slide him over it and then down through to the rear tires.
All right, now it's time for us to see if these headlights work and if I connected them properly. We got Justin working on the power supply. He's installing an S-Pod so we can connect all the light bars for once they're ready. We got Josh up at the top. He's working on the Prinsu design roof rack. He's gonna be installing it soon. Steve, what are you working on?
Putting the tire carrier on.
Tire carrier on. And we got Kenny over here.
Jerry cans.
Putting on the jerry cans that Robert decided he wanted to add on to the build.
Yeah.
Really cool. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men working on a Tacoma. All right, the high clearance rear bumper has been installed with the dual swing outs, one of my favorite products. Let's talk about it, man. How is Robert gonna be able to take advantage of this thing?
Oh, Robert's gonna love this. I mean, the dual swing arm with the high clearance rear bumper is like the ultimate Tacoma accessory. First off, looking at the bumper, you have protection from the whole backside clear to the rear wheel well, which is awesome. You have not only added ground clearance here, but you can just beat the tar out of this thing. Whatever you need to do, that's what it's there for. It's got a fully integrated support that goes back to the frame right off the front here. So this, just like your rock slider, is gonna be able to support the weight of the vehicle. If you come down off of a ledge, boom, it's gonna take the weight, put a little mark in there, a little trophy mark, whatever you wanna call it, you're ready to roll.
Let's go to the back to my favorite part on this bumper,
So
the dual swing outs.
Yeah, let's talk about the swing arms here. So again, you know, a big thing with overlanding is making your truck super versatile. It needs to have all the ability to do whatever you need it to do in the moment, whatever you're faced with. The dual swing arms provide that. They provide opportunity to carry lots of gear, whether it's, you know, if I flip that open, you have a fold down table here for cooking, camping, that sort of thing. Carry a full-size spare. You know, off of that arm, you can run another table if you want. You can run fuel, water, high lift jack. You can really set it up to carry whatever you want. And that's gonna be a huge advantage for Robert. Let's say he's out in the desert. Let me just flip that up really quick. Put the tailgate down, open your fold down table, and he can set this area up for whatever he wants to do. However he wants to camp out of this, however he wants to carry his gear, he's got the ability to do it. And that's the benefit of a dual swing arm and the high clearance rear bumper.
We did it out in the Pony Express and we had a blast, man. Having the ability to just put things around, you know, make them work to you, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Makes a huge difference, makes a huge difference. The other thing that's pretty cool too is, you know, he's gonna have the ability to use his camera. We're gonna move this camera. We have a mount that bolts in right here, so he's still gonna have use of his factory reverse camera. So it's not an aftermarket camera, it's the factory one. It's gonna show up just as it should on his dash.
And check this out.
Oh yeah.
It's got the...
Plus you can tow still, which I do a lot of towing, so that's a really nice feature to have that hitch in there. Still have the ability for that, your chain hooks there, your mount, 7-pin or 4-pin right there. Plus you can use the bumper for recovery. I mean, it's got the built-in recovery points, fully bolted to the frame.
And you know this thing is just gonna hold on.
Oh yeah.
Tightening up the last bolt on the headlight.
This is just cleaning up the paint so we got a good surface for the ground on the S-Pod. We just got the main power to the S-Pod. We got our ground over here, nice and tight, secure. We just got our power lead off the battery, a couple zip ties, and this will be a done deal.
Justin is finished installing the S-Pod. We got Steve and Kenny working on the front bumper. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on installing our Tacoma Beast bed decal. Once we've heated the decal, it's a lot easier to remove it. Comes right off. If you heat it just enough, it leaves no residue or that sticky surface behind. It just comes right out. All right, so Kenny and Steve are done prepping the front. Now it's time to install the front bumper.
Good. Good.
We got Josh and Zach. They're working on the Prince roof rack. They're assembling it right now. Steve is finishing up the front bumper, but it's basically installed. And right now, Kenny and Justin are working on setting up the CVT tent, one of my favorite tents out there. The Hertic light bars are going to get installed, and I'm just really happy that they're sponsoring this build. I love supporting that company. They're made in the USA. We've used them all over the country. We used them out in the Pony Express, and they just lit up the night when we were out there trying to find our camp spot. It was incredible. I love the light output that they have. The front bumper has been installed. Nate, tell me, man, how's Robert really gonna be able to take advantage of this bumper?
Oh, Robert's gonna be stoked. I mean, he's got a full front bumper, aluminum, so it's super lightweight. He's not adding really any significant amount of weight. Honestly, most of the weight is coming from the winch, you know, as far as additional weight gain. So really cool bumper, it's all aluminum. Of course, he has the light mount for the Heretic 20-inch light bar, which would be really nice. He's got the Warn winch, so he can get himself out of any sticky situation. You know, recovery tabs. Of course, the fog lights mounted here.
And these actually take the stock fog lights, right?
Yeah. So of course, we hooked him up with the great Heretic lights, the Quattros. But yeah, you can mount your factory fogs as well. Super usable bumper, plus it gives you a lot of added clearance and protection. And I know you used yours. Tell us about what happened on your
Out in the
trip.
Pony Express, you know, you're enjoying yourself. You know, we're going on the trail and we didn't see there was a ditch and we landed right into it, man. And honestly, if it wasn't because of the center grill guard, our whole front end would have been destroyed. It would have, you know, we would have had to definitely buy a whole front end for it. It made me consider buying the full protection that protects the headlights.
Get the headlight protection and
I
all
would
that.
for sure not recommend going with anything, at least get the Cento grill guard for sure.
Yeah. You know, a lot of Tacoma owners have the TSS sensor here in the center, and it'll work with that TSS sensor. So you have that, you know, adaptive cruise control ability, you retain all that functionality.
The sliders have been installed. Nate, I know that Robert went with the top plate option. you guys have other options as well, right?
We do. So top plate I love, works well for families and dogs getting in and out. But our standard rock slider, it has the angle on it, 15-degree angle, so it hugs really tight to the vehicle. Plus the kick out option, which we see here, which just makes the truck look so racy and fast looking.
And not only that, if an obstacle's coming, it'll kick the truck right out and it'll protect your whole,
Exactly.
bedside.
Super functional. Plus, the benefit of the rock sliders for Robert, I mean, yeah, he can get in and out of the truck and all of that, but he can use and abuse these things. They'll take the weight of the vehicle, he can thrash them, slide them over rocks, whatever he needs to do, that's what they're there for.
I've put the entire weight of the vehicle on these sliders using a high lift to change the tire. It was insane to see it. I don't recommend it, but they can take the hit.
I saw the pictures, man. That was a little wild.
I was forced in a situation where I was forced to do it.
Yeah.
But
that's okay. That's what the sliders are for. They're to take the weight of the vehicle, protect the whole quarter panel, and keep you moving through your adventure, whatever it is.
Day 3, we're doing great on time. Zach and Josh last night, finished putting together the Prinsu rack. Right now, Steve and Justin just finished installing the sliders. And Kenny over here is gonna be mounting the CVT tent on top of the CBI Overland Bed Rack.
I'm gonna be able to, save a lot of money as far as going to Mexico. I'm not gonna do Airbnb anymore. I'm just gonna sleep on my truck.
All right, so the CBI Overland Bed Rack has been installed. Nate, how's Robert gonna take advantage of this thing?
You know what, Mateo? I don't even know how to list all the ways that he can take advantage of this. This is like the Swiss Army knife of accessories for a truck. But I know you used the heck out of yours on the Pony Express Trail, so tell us what you did.
So the way I have mine set up is I have my recovery boards on this side, so in case I get stuck, the first thing I do, come, grab them, put them right in, and we're good to go.
Okay.
And then on the other side, we have 8 gallons of rotor packs that are hanging off to the side. And on the inside, I figured out a way to also keep other recovery gear inside.
Awesome.
And I love it. It's stuff that you last resort stuff that you might use.
Yeah.
So having it inside, it's not in the way.
Yeah.
You can always reach in there, grab it.
Access, all of that.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing, really. I mean, that's how we designed this bed rack, is we want it to be user-friendly for however you're gonna use it. So you put it through the paces on the Pony Express Trail. Robert, he's gonna have a different idea of how he wants to accessorize this, what gear he wants to attach to his rack. You've got places on the outside, places on the inside, even the crossbars are set up for multiple attachment points. You could do, I think you have them. Don't you have the chase lights on the back of your rack as well?
So I also mounted chase lights here, and the tubing, it worked perfect. Perfect height. You got the option for a tent.
For a tent, which is super awesome. Plus,
this thing is going nowhere.
This thing is strong.
Now, I don't know if you guys did this on purpose, but you've actually built like a ladder here. So you can just climb right up and go, undo your tent or whatever. So that's something that I really like.
That's exactly how I use mine, actually. When I flip my tent over on the opposite side, because mine folds out to the driver's side, I do just that. Climb right up it, strap my cover on, away you go.
The Prinsu cab rack has been installed. One of my favorite upgrades on this build right now. Nate, tell me, how is Robert really gonna be able to enjoy this?
Oh, I think he is just gonna be stoked with this rack. I mean, it just gives the truck a ton of aggressive looks and aesthetics. Just makes it look like an off-road truck. But more than that, it just gives him an entire platform of functionality to use however he wants. I know you've used your Prinsu rack a ton with lots of different accessories, lots of different trips. Give me a little idea of how you've used yours.
Well, the way that I see it is a huge Lego piece, right? You're able to switch it around and make it work for you. At the beginning, I was, I only had like a shovel, a 72-hour recovery, rotor packs kit, water tank, and then eventually when I went on that crazy 673-mile trip, we had 2 massive roam boxes up here where we were able to just stuff them with stuff. And it was really good.
Dude, and you guys had them loaded. And that's really the benefit of the Prinsu rack. I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. Plus we put some accessories on here. We've got the brand new Ridgeline handles in the light gray, so it kind of adds a really cool, you know, color vibe to his rack. A little bottle opener on the back, and of course he can accessorize this any way he wants. I think Robert's just gonna be stoked.
For the light setup, Robert's getting hooked up with Hertic's 20-inch light bar, quad pods, the BA2s, and Justin right now is gonna finish installing the 40-inch light bar up top. Since Robert just got hooked up with a 40-inch light bar, a 20-inch light bar, some fog lights, ditch lights, you know, you need to connect all those lights into a power supply. And there's no better supply out there than the S-Pod. I have it on my truck. We've put it on the Hector's build. We put it on the Camp Cannon build. And he's just gonna have this, you know, switch panel where he's just gonna be able to switch in between them as he needs them. I think he's gonna love it. Day 4 here at CBI. We're almost finished. We can see the finish line. Justin just lifted up the vehicle using a floor jack so he can install the Old Man Emo leaf springs, the heavy duty ones, so we can prevent the truck from sagging. We've added a ton of weight here. We're also flying in Daniel from California to install the OEM Audio Plus sound system that Robert won, and that's why we're not using the lift, so that Daniel can open the doors and do that install while Justin installs the leaf springs. We flew in Daniel from California. He's coming in at 11 in the morning. He's knocking out that install in about 3 to 4 hours, and then he's getting on the plane going back to California. This guy is a hustler, and he's coming to install one of the best sound systems out there. Daniel from OEM Audio Plus just made it from California. How was the flight, man?
I'll tell you, it was legit, bro.
Are you ready for the install?
Dude, I'm pumped, bro.
So what is the winner getting, man? I mean, you've seen the truck. What do you think of this crazy price?
Well, see, I saw your post on Monday, and I'm like, all right, yeah, factory Tacoma.
Coming along.
Dude, but walking in today and seeing where it's at, I mean, already a transformation. I know we got more in store.
Dude, we got a sound system that's going on. What are we installing?
All right, so this is special, and you anticipated this in November. You reached out to me and you said, dude, I don't know what the winner's gonna have. They're either gonna have a Tacoma with JBL or without. So you basically orchestrated it, arranged it, and made sure that we already had the commitment from Tacoma Beast to do our new signature edition, because you knew it was in the works, bro. Yeah. Just so happens Robert has a JBL, so he will be one of the first, apart from our pre-order owners, that will have the signature edition in his truck, bro, which is a complete transformation. We'll get into the nitty-gritty in a bit, but yeah, we're stoked about this one.
Dude, I'm kind of jealous.
I'm kind of jealous.
You guys killed it.
You like it?
Man. What's different about it?
What's in this is a multi-channel power amplifier, just like your reference series, bro. But this is our next level. It's our signature edition amplifier. Okay, still has a 64-bit digital signal processor. That's where all the magic happens. Again, we're not just throwing an amp in there. As you know, we're tuning it specifically for the acoustics of the vehicle and the output characteristics of the headroom, just like your reference series. There's a dedicated sub-amplifier in this one. The signature edition will not be offered without that dedicated sub-amplifier. So it's a 2-amplifier system. Resources allocated specifically to the sub. Subwoofer, again, we got creative, man. We didn't want to trade off any space in this vehicle, so we're actually hijacking the passenger sub, the factory sub location, so it's a fixed mounting to the frame of the vehicle. Now what's killer about that, because the factory sub had 4 mounting points, what's killer about taking that location is all that energy. It's not just sitting in the storage bin. Again, reference series, we love it. We're not speaking against it, but this is fixed to the frame of the vehicle, so all of that energy, both it's translating.
Yeah,
you're experiencing it.
I felt that,
and it's a single sub. So we really, from an engineering standpoint, felt like, hey, a dual's not even necessary with this particular application. We know there's going to be those who want it, but nonetheless, right now, the single is more than capable. Same reference series speakers, tweeters in the dash, 6x9s in the front door, rear 6.5-inch coaxial, so the 2-way tweeter in there, as well as the 6.5-inch woofer, and then again, the amplifiers on the seat, and then wire and harness, plug and play, no compromise, no cutting, no splicing. You know the drill. Yeah.
I want it. You sold me.
You're too funny, bro.
Right, no, man. For real.
I know. I want
it. I want it. No, I'm being real.
You're all no serious.
I want it. No.
No, and that's kind of what's happening.
Can we get it on the second gen?
Oh, too much. All right, next time.
All right, we are on our way right now to pick up the winner, Robert, to finally show him the build. It's been 4 days. You know, he just texted me, he's super excited. I can't wait to show him the build. You ready, man?
My heart's pumping, bro.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be so awesome. Moment of truth. It's happening.
Let's go, come on.
Don't forget your mom.
I know, I'm so excited. Dude, there's like hundreds of people outside.
Dude, we're stoked for you.
Oh my God! You're kidding me! Yo! Look at this! Dude. No way! That's not my truck, bro! That is not my truck!
It is.
No kidding, man! Wow, dude!
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Awesome! That is so awesome, dude! My truck looking clean!
Appreciate everybody, man. I thank you for being here, and I'm so excited, man. This is awesome. This is a great gift. I cannot.
Congrats,
you know, and my birthday. My birthday's on Tuesday, same as this guy. We're birthday twinning. Oh my God, I love this. Awesome, dude.
You ready to go out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. All right, Dave, Mateo, I'm about to get in this river to go find your drone. This might be the last time anybody sees me, so I could die, but I'm doing it for you. Here we go. We're gonna go get that drone out on the river here. Hopefully it's not too hard to find. Look at that. Only took 2 days, but we found it. If we can get through here. Ugh. Whew. Finally got it. I'm going home.